Wilson Morales from Black Film and TV. Hello, Mr. Campbell. How's it going?
Good, mate. How are you?
Good. I'm looking at your background. Am I wrong? Is this your first film you directed with a female lead in an action film?
You're absolutely right. I don't. I was thinking back. Is there anything I've done? And no. The answer is this is the first film with a female action lead. Yeah.
And so when you have Maggie Q, who's no stranger to doing these type of films and projects, what are you getting her to do differently that she hasn't done before?
Well, first of all, she's got, forgetting the action to which she's an expert at it, is that she's got a chance to, as a character, particularly with her relationship with Sam Jackson and Michael Keaton, it really requires acting chops to make all that work. And she's not only is she great at action, but she's also a terrific actress.
And speaking of Sam and Michael, they've worked together before. And when you have them, but not necessarily in scenes together all the time, what's that chemistry like when you're knowing these guys know each other?
Well, the thing is, they never get together in this movie. Excuse me. They never get together. I mean, they in the movie, they never come together, if you see what I mean. They're in very close proximity, but, they don't actually have any acting scenes together. It's mainly between her and Michael Keaton. But Sam is, he's one of those gems really in the industry who not only is a chameleon, he can do anything, that guy. And it's it's no surprise that he's in so many movies because he's so bloody good. I mean, and he elevates the movie no matter what he's in. He's never given a bad performance, And I was surprised to learn he has a theater background. So he does. He works in the theater. Yeah.
When it comes to genre films, your name comes up at the top of the list. Where's the love for these spy films coming from?
Yeah, it's just a personal preference. For example, I loved Bond as a kid. I saw them all like most people, but I just happened to. I sort of really loved the character and so forth. I love doing thrillers because they're films that I can watch anytime. Really good thrillers I like, and action I like. It's just a personal preference. If I go to the cinema, those kind of movies, I really like. So that's where it comes from.
So when you're throwing these projects at you, and I guess a lot of them are action films, what is it that makes you say yes compared to the no's you say?
Simply because you're looking for something different. In this case, I hadn't had a female protagonist, number one. Secondly, the script itself was really well written. And the Michael Keaton character, the relationship between him and Maggie, and also Maggie and Sam, that's rare. In most of these kind of action films, there's no emotional spine to them, really. It's either, certainly in female protagonist films or assassin films, if you will, it's always, a member of the family's killed, they go out, train, kick butt, and, it all comes under the category of we've seen it all before. So this was different, really. She was more complex. And I thought far more interesting, and particularly in our relationships between the other two actors.
Well, before I let you go, as often as you work, are you still learning, or is it just everything like what you're doing with your next project?
No, you learn all the time. Honestly, it's each film you do is like your first movie. So while you have the practical skills to be able to do that, just somehow. I always say that that directing is the way to make good stuff is to live in fear, that you're going to screw it up, or that, and that's really a fear factor for me. It is that will I do a good job? Have I done enough homework? Have I whatever? And I do go into great detail in prepping a film, because on tight budgets and tight schedules, you just have to know what you're doing, and you have to move fast. And having done a lot of television in the early days in London, I learned from there, really. So Yeah.
Well, you've done another film that's worth seeing. It's a pleasure to talk to you. Obviously, I'm looking forward for your next project. Hopefully, we'll talk again. But if not, stay safe and congrats again.
Thanks very much.
Take care.
Great.